How's it going? Adam Drake here, and today I want to talk a little bit about mounting your air filter and the importance of basically having something to secure or mount the filter so that it can't kind of bounce around when running. So with 8-scale cars, they go through a lot of abuse. The track conditions are usually pretty rough on the cars, a lot of big jumps, and not all the companies make mounts for the air filter. So you can see here, if I remove this from the mount, this can kind of flop and bounce around, and sometimes it'll be fine, but when this filter is bouncing and moving around, if it's not secured into some type of mount, the filter can hit your linkage, so it can make your brakes and throttle feel a little bit funny because it has the extra resistance from the filter. It can pull the filter back, which potentially can allow the engine to suck dirt. And also, when this filter is if it is bouncing and moving around, the Venturis kind of have a sharp corner. So if that rubber hose is bouncing and moving around, there's more of a risk or a chance of the filter getting cut by the Venturi. So this is something I've looked into. I wanted to kind of make an actual mount. The challenge with this is that there's so many different filters and so many different vehicles that it's kind of something you gotta almost figure out or make on your own. As you've seen in many videos, I use the TLR boot with the Flashpoint pre-oiled filters. This is a very similar setting to the HB, the Associated, and I believe even Techno has a S-bend. But all of the boots are a little bit different. So if you were to make a mount for a Mugen car, and if you were using one of the different filters, it may need to be adjusted slightly. So what I have on my car is a filter mount or wire. This one's actually the older Associated filters used to come with this wire. The TLR filters come with a wire, but it has a little bit kind of more of like a 90 bend that extends the mount farther forward. You can rebend it. Sometimes when you rebend it, that wire can break. I've even seen some people make 3D printed ones. You could 3D print or make a mount that goes from the tank splash guard to the filter. But I prefer to have a mount that is separate, that mounts to the center diff so that the tank can actually float and move on its own. When you connect the filter to the splash guard, it just kind of ties all that in together, and I want to make sure that the tank can float. But it's a simple thing that I believe is often overlooked. You don't think much of it. You just allow the filter to kind of float. But again, it can cause serious damage to your engine or even while you're running to the handling of your vehicle if the filter ends up getting kind of hung up or stuck in the brake linkage, if it pulls the filter back. So I wish I had a link or an easier way to just say, hey, you should make sure you put this mount on every car. But it's something that you should spend a little bit of time and try to make sure that you can have your filter secured so that the filter can't come in contact with the linkage or any moving parts. So it keeps your engine running consistent and also doesn't allow it to have any damage or suck any dirt.